This is Yamaha's MT10 SP. This is the first one to land in the UK. Now at the start of this year, I attended the world exclusive Yamaha launch of the new MT10, which is heavily changed for this year. They've thrown the R1 electronics at the MT10. So now we've got a full 6-axis IMU and a plethora of riding aids. They also changed the engine to make it Euro 5, changed the exhaust and changed the induction to give it a raucous noise. But now we have the SP, which features the next generation of semi-active Öhlins suspension. This is the first production bike to feature the next generation of this semi-active suspension. So I was hugely impressed with the MT10 when we rode that on its world launch, but now the SP should take it to the next level. We've got the perfect day, the perfect environment, can't wait to try it. We've had the chance to ride Yamaha's MT10 SP on some great roads here in Lincolnshire. It's a real mix-up. Now there's some small differences between the MT10 SP and the MT10, mainly the braided lines that now stick to the radial Brembo master cylinder. We've got the R1M inspired colours, and we've also got the belly pan. But obviously the big difference, aside from the cosmetics, is the Öhlins semi-active suspension. Now this is the next generation suspension. So this is the 6-mode, spool valve, electronically adjustable suspension. Now essentially, I've got 6 modes on the suspension. I've got 3 that are manual, so I can change the suspension manually by changing compression and rebound, or they can be active, and there's 3 active modes. Now I've mainly been riding in active 2 mode, which is kind of the road mode. But on some of these bumpier roads around here, when I want an easier time, I can change that on the fly and go into A3, which is a bit more compliant and a little bit softer. A1 is still semi-active, but that's more track orientated. So the best way to test that mode is to head that way to one of the best tracks in the UK, Cadwell Park. What an awesome day. What a great track Cadwell Park is. And what a great bike the premium MT10 SP has turned out to be. We've ridden around these roads around Lincolnshire and we've gone from really bumpy stuff to nice smooth undulating. And on the move, on the fly, I can change the suspension. So in A3, that's kind of like the softest mode in semi-active. So the suspension is still semi-active, but I've asked it to be nice and soft and plush. Then you flick it into A2. It's a little bit sporty, there's a little less travel, more suited for smoother roads, but still a road setting. And then when we get here to Cadwell Park, I roll down pit lane, I press one button, and we're in A1, which is suited for road tyres on track. I'm simply pressing buttons. Don't have to get my hands dirty, don't need any tools, don't need to be a suspension expert, and it doesn't matter if I'm 20 stone or 8 stone. All I've got to do is press some buttons. It's that easy. I was hugely impressed with the MT10 on the world launch, and the SP has just upped the ante that little bit further. On the road, it's just great fun. This new airbox, the new induction, sounds brilliant. Along with the up and down quick shifter, it sounds awesome. Then when you get to the track, you can play with the rider modes, play with the fueling and play with the traction. For example, we didn't have any lift control going over the mountain, but I still had slide control and traction control. And you can trim these modes fairly easily once you're back in pit lane. It held its own on track, it sounded great, but now it's time for home and we're not putting the bike in a van. We're simply softening the suspension, softening the fueling and enjoying a nice bimble back to Yorkshire.